Oh. L'chaim, v'livracha, for life and for blessings. What's the reward for doing good, for doing a mitzvah? Of course, there's personal reward when you overcome a difficulty, a challenge, inner challenge in particular, and you do the good. Feels wonderful to be able to accomplish good. So there's, the feeling that, I did something wonderful. Of course, there's the effect that we make on others when we do something wonderful. It's also, we're created to make an impact, and you did something good and made an impact. It's also wonderful. No question about that. There's, of course, if you give charity, and now God is going to, you know, have compassion upon you. And if there's a healing, whether you need or someone else's needs healing, or whatever other needs, there is, of course, the reward that one gains in that manner. As we say, doing good is rewarding. Just to know that you are on the good side of things, it's pretty rewarding and pretty awesome. No doubt about it. Chaim, Chaim Bracha. Welcome to Tanya Today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zich and Kadesh in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Share with you the Tanya the day before Yud Aleph Nisan, before the 11th day of the month of Nisan, the Rebbe's birthday. We will start saying chapter 124 in Tehillim, because the Rebbe turned 123 years. As the sages say, that after the passing of an individual, there's still life is counted by years. You think it would be, beyond years? No. There's a concept of time, even in the spiritual realm, not just in the physical realm here. And so we're the day before, auspicious, good day to make preparation. And I encourage everyone to write to the Rebbe for a blessing and take upon yourself, as one does when it comes to one's own personal birthday, a resolution to add, to increase in one's connection to God, one's observance. So write into Rebbe at ohelchabad.org. On chabad.org, you can find it for sure. So we're in chapter 39. The Alter Rebbe says, we spoke about we're the abode of different kinds of souls, from the very righteous that are completely what we call a chariot to the divine, completely only a mirror reflection of what's happening upstairs in the divine realm, which is, pretty awesome. We're not there. Souls of Atzilus. Then we spoke about souls, world of Bria comprehension, divine comprehension. The world of Atzilus is way beyond any comprehension, as God is not comprehensible ultimately. And God is not limited by comprehension, right? It's not limited to his own comprehension, because comprehension or intelligence is something that he created and not something that he is bound or defined by. So there are those righteous just reflect that. Then you have those who are mighty souls, but you know God, know his way of creation, know him within creation, beyond creation, and that produces a love and awe for him that they do. So the Alter Rebbe today says, Schar mitzvah mitzvah. What's the reward ultimately of a mitzvah? So there's a lot of things when we do good that is rewarding in doing good. No doubt about it. The ultimate is the mitzvah itself, meaning the bond itself, which might be counterintuitive. So it's not about the feel good. It's not even about the do good. That I did good. I feel good, which is true, but the ultimate reward of the mitzvah is the attachment itself. Being attached, right? Um, Now, with that, there's also a ray of light in that mitzvah that we do, a ray of light of God that we have of the mitzvah, right? So what's rewarding is that there is that ray of light that we're attached to in the mitzvah, to God himself, but also to the ray of light that we can experience. So what this means is that you can know the essential nature of a mitzvah by the reward. In other words, the light that is generated by the mitzvah that is revealed to the soul that you experience, then you can know the nature of that mitzvah. So says the Alter Rebbe, we're not going to deal with that which is hidden from us, which is beyond, that is, those righteous that are from the world of Atzilus, because that's a very lofty level. We're going to deal with um, an individual of what we can aspire to. What can we aspire to? We can aspire to learn Tanya, for example, or learn Torah, that we can know God. So remember, even though God is beyond comprehension ultimately, and that's even a loftier level, but we can know God because he made himself available to be known through his Torah. So whether it's learning Chumash or Rashi, whether it's learning Maimonides, right, the Torah portion, or learning Maimonides' laws, or learning Tanya as we're learning now, we get to know God in different dimensions. We can get to know what he wants. When we learn Maimonides, say, do this, don't do that, right? This is the parameter of the law, like we're learning now about Shabbos. And then there is to know um, to know the way God deals with creation, within creation, beyond creation, God within his will. All of that is something available to us. So when we have that, and that produces a feeling of love and awe towards God, based on what we understand and know of God's greatness, right? Then such a service, when you're motivated like this, elevates whatever your mitzvah you're doing to the world, to the 10 divine attributes in the world of Bria, right? This is the reward that we know that its place in such a lofty service, when you're motivated in such a manner, that it raises up, it goes up to the world of Bria. And not just to the world of Bria, which is the first created world, spiritual world, but to the divine attributes there. If a person is motivated, though, by a natural love and awe of God, right, which is in our naturally in our soul and therefore in our hearts, it's there. It's not by comprehension. So then when we do a mitzvah, right, like now, learning, right? So it's um, so again, the emotions of the heart are not being prompted because of the mental awareness of God, but because of the inborn natural love and awe that the soul has. It's within us. Then such a reward of when you do the mitzvah is that what you do is raised up to the world of Yetzirah, the world of formation, and to the 10 attributes there in that world. Now, what happens if you're not motivated by any of this, right? In other words, not even the hidden love that's in the soul, that, you desire connection, which would mean, right, connection. You desire connection. But instead, that stays in its native state, like it was before, like it didn't emerge. So says the Alter Rebbe that such a service remains below in a world of separation. Thank you. Thank you, Shmuel. Right. It remains in the external world. It doesn't touch the internal world of Yetzirah, but the external world there. In other words, when you are motivated by whether it's the inherent love that's in our soul, and that's what motivates you, you want to be connected to Hashem, right? Then that will propel the mitzvah to the world of Yetzirah, to the inner dimension of it, which is the divine attributes, which are one with God, right? But if it's not done by that, right? Truth is, it's a very short class today, and he's going to go tomorrow into more detailed understanding of what that means when you're not, right? That you don't have that. So it goes to the external world that's not one with God, right? This external spiritual world that's not one with God, right? And therefore doesn't have the power to be absorbed in God's unity into the 10 divine attributes. As the Zohar writes, that without the awe and love of God, it doesn't fly upwards and cannot rise and stand before God, the mitzvah that you do. Right. So I would suggest that quite often, the mitzvahs that we do is being done because of the inherent love, as we are seeking the connection, right, with God. And therefore, that prompts us to come and learn. It's not the awareness that we have, but it's just we're seeking the connection. And that seeking of the connection then brings the mitzvah that we do to such a lofty place in the world of Yetzirah. Okay. Now, what does it mean? It rises to the world and what happens and so on. We're going to have more on that. It's a short thought right now, but to be continued, God willing. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zich and Kadesh, Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you, Tanya.